Ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute honor to present before you Major General Ravinder Singh Chhatwal, retired from the Indian Army, as a distinguished leader in our Learning from Leaders series. Major General Chhatwal's life journey is a shining example of leadership, service and unwavering commitment to positive change. With a remarkable 37 years career with the Army, Major General Chhatwal made a conscious choice to dedicate his life to selfless service after his retirement in 2005. As a leader who led with distinction, he held the prestigious position of Joint Secretary at the Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India. Major General Chhatwal's leadership extends beyond military service to the realm of education, where he headed 4 distinguished management and engineering institutions of our country. As an alumnus of IIT Kanpur and Symbiosis Pune, his powerful motivational speeches have inspired and guided countless students, individuals, emphasizing the importance of strong ethics and human values in leadership. From directing Amity University, Rajasthan to overseeing educational and social initiatives at Badu Sahib, Major General Chhatwal has consistently played a pivotal role in shaping the educational landscape of our country. His association with Baba Seva Singh Kar Seva Wale since 2009 reflects his commitment to preparing youth for national level competitions. In 2014, as the director of Nishane-Sikhi Preparatory Institute, Major General Chhatwal collaborated to initiate a 2-year intensive integrated preparatory program for NDA and IIT AIEEE, providing the rural youth with opportunities to join prestigious institutions of our country. Even in the face of challenges posed by the COVID pandemic, his leadership remained steadfast. He stayed at the Autism Ashram, Hyderabad, the world's largest autism residential facility caring for the differently abled. Presently, Major General Chhatwal continues to epitomize leadership in various domains. As the director of Talent 21, an international HR consulting company, he brings his wealth of experience to the corporate world. His mentorship extends to organizations like We Are One in the US, focusing on spiritual and mental health. Additionally, he is a founder member of Baba Banda Singh Charitable and Educational Trust, Jammu. He is advisor and mentor for our own company, 3T, Triumph Through Training Pvt Limited. So today, from Wayanad in Kerala, God's own country, let us bring to you a beacon of leadership and inspiring positive change. We present Major General R.S. Chhatwal as a very great leader, one of my favorites and my mentor too.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with the questions. You are a distinguished army leader and have privilege of heading reputed management and engineering institutions. Apart from that, you have been advisor to various corporates also. So how could you differentiate between military and corporate leadership?
In my opinion, corporate leadership revolves around making a strategic vision and making optimal use of resources of men and material towards profitability. The aim is profitability. Whereas, when you look at military leadership, it is concerned with inspiring, motivating and preparing men under command to lay down their lives for the service of country if the need arises. Military leadership is guided by the ethos outlined by Field Marshal Chetwood while inaugurating the Indian Military Academy in 1932. It goes like this: the safety, honor and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The honor, welfare and comfort of the men you command comes next. Your own ease, comfort and safety come last, always and every time. This great military ethos has and shall continue to motivate and inspire leaders to shed their lives for the safety and integrity of the country.
That brings us to a conclusion that in corporate leadership, profitability is the most important facet, and in military leadership, the selfless service and the commitment towards the nation is the most important phase. As the former Director General of Amity University in Rajasthan, essentially the Vice Chancellor, a role known for its prestige and financial rewards, what led you to resign and relocate to the Himalayas for voluntary work with an NGO focusing on educating rural children?
I firmly believe that our life is guided by a divine plan. Practically nothing is in our hands. One fine morning, during my morning prayers, I realized that I have received infinite blessings from the Lord, and the time has come that I should pay it back. I discussed this thought with my life partner, and she really agreed. It was not an easy decision really, because moving from a very high profile job, staying in a single apartment with no pay, perks or privileges. Yet, over the years, I realized that this was a great decision I made, and the joy and fulfillment which I received doing social work far outweighed the perks and privileges associated with high profile appointments which I held in my life. A verse from Sant Kabir became my guiding inspiration. ना कुछ किया ना कर सके ना कुछ करे शरीर क्या जानूं हर किया भयो कबीर कबीर.
Wow, this is such a strong decision making coming from a great leader like you, wherein you listen to the inner voice and moved from a very high profile job to selfless service. The military career is very fascinating, and I recall I also got selected in CDS once, but God had different plans. What, according to you, are the key attributes of a leader, and can you recall an incident from your military career where you were tested?
Taking risks, overcoming fear, and leading by example to my mind are the key attributes of a military leader. I will share an incident with you. During the 1971 operations, I was, as a young captain, tasked to move a convoy of 100 vehicles from Tezpur to Agartala via Shillong. As we descended Shillong, down the mountains, we unfortunately came across a landslide. Small boulders are falling and they blocked the road, and our convoy was split into two. We had no option but to move forward. Returning back was not an option at all due to operational requirements. So I decided at the moment to stand directly under the landslide and started picking up stones. As I moved to the landslide area, other troops joined me instantly, and within minutes we were able to clear the landslide area, and one by one all the vehicles passed. As the vehicles passed, we thank God that we could move to our mission. As the last vehicle cleared the landslide area, there was a big thud. A huge boulder had fallen and the road remained blocked for months together. I thought it was a divine plan that saved our lives and helped us to achieve our operational mission. I was reminded of a quote by Paul Coelho: when your intentions are good, the universe conspires to help you.
Another knowledge nugget that we can derive out of this is that God helps those who help themselves, and you need to be fearless and take risks in your life. All leaders are required to make critical decisions. What, in your opinion, are the guidelines for good decision making?
For effective decision making, a host of techniques and tools are available. However, great leaders rely upon their inner voice and instincts. Please allow me to share a practical example during my service as a commanding officer of a unit. One of my soldiers returned from leave almost 6 months late. He was marched up on a charge sheet to me, and the punishment was very simple: 3 months punishment, rigorous imprisonment, and discharge from service. When I asked him why did he come late, he did not have a specific answer. When I asked him again, he said, "Sir, I am late. Please punish me as a commanding officer as you feel right." Somehow I was not convinced. I told the adjutant and the soldier major to leave the office and made him sit down, offered him a cup of tea. I once again asked him, "I am not interested that you came late. I want to understand why did you come late?" When I asked him with a lot of compassion, he immediately broke down and started crying. Then he shared that he has been running after a person whom he thought had murdered his wife. He said, "I was so angry in revenge that I roamed from village to village in Haryana and ultimately could not find him, and then finally came back." Something in me told me that this soldier does not deserve the punishment because he has certain inhibitions which need to be sorted out. I thought for a moment. I said, "I will take this decision later." 3 days later, I again called him to my office and then understood what exactly was wrong. Listening to my inner conscience, I got an opportunity to reform a soldier rather than condemn him for life. I thought it was right to punish him as it was my duty as a commanding officer. However, I thought it would be very wrong to condemn a soldier for life. Later I realized right and wrong are basically individual perceptions which vary from time to time. When in doubt, when in a dilemma, it is better to choose good against right or wrong.
So, good decision making by a great leader requires compassion and listening to the other side of the story as well. So, if we listen to the other side of the story, we are able to take better decisions. It is said that leaders are born and not made. Can you recall any personal experience which helped you to become an effective leader?
In my opinion, every great leader is blessed with decision-making attributes and traits which can be refined with training and experiential learning. Upon my marriage, my wife met my grandmother. She had a very simple advice: listen to everyone, but follow your own conscience. At the face of it, it looked as a very simple advice from an uneducated lady. But later I realized that it had a lot of meaning. When you make a decision as your own, then you assume responsibility. And then you make sure that you are accountable for the decision also. Later, I developed a paradigm: accountability to self first, then to the organization, and to people last. This became my style of functioning as a leader. This helped me to a great extent to take right decision. We need to take advice from experts and friends and other people making a critical decision. However, the decision should be your own and guided by your conscience. Once it is so, then you are accountable for the decision and you will never regret it. As I held senior leadership positions, I developed a paradigm which became very important to me throughout my service. That was accountability to self first, then to organization, and finally to people. Unfortunately, nowadays, people, for minor gains and pleasing their bosses, tag on to their leaders and compromise their conscience.
So, accountability to self is the most important motto for a great leader. It is said that delegation is the key to successful leadership. Best leaders are the ones who know how to delegate. What are your views on delegation?
No leader can do all the tasks himself. Delegation is very, very important. When you delegate, you show trust. When you show trust, you empower people to take decisions. When they take decisions, you can be sure that they will come up with results better than your expectations. I will quote a personal example. One fine evening on a Saturday, I called my company commander that we have to make a presentation. So I didn't specify any time for him. On Sunday evening, he gave me a call, sir, the presentation is ready and I also have laid down a demonstration. When I went through the presentation, I was absolutely surprised that my company commander had worked for almost 24 hours non-stop, and he not only made an excellent presentation but laid out a perfect demonstration which was beyond my expectations. So when you delegate, you empower people to take decisions and come out with results which will surprise you. To my mind, the guidelines for delegation is tell a subordinate what to do and not how to do.
It clearly points out that for effective delegation, trust, empowerment and accountability are the three important features required in a great leader. That was a great interaction with one of the greatest leaders in military, Major General R.S. Chhatwal. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time for Learning from Leaders series.
Thank you, Rajanji. It was my honor and privilege. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.